Have you here present at our today's webinar, and last in a series of our summer webinars. I still see people are joining. Welcome them all. I will start with the introduction of this webinar. I'm Philippe van Mierlo, the Secretary General of AVERE, the European Association for Electromobility. About the webinar for today, this webinar will be recorded. There is also a Q&A, question and answer. Please post your questions in the Q&A box. Quotes or statements will not be handled. Questions can also be upvoted, so if you see a question that you think is more relevant or very interested for yourself, you can vote this up. We also limit the Q&A to 5 minutes or 5 questions. Afterwards, you will receive the link, inclusive the available presentations. By this, we also have a small disclaimer. View, findings, and publications of this webinar do not necessarily represent the views or policies of AVERE or its individual participants or associations, in this case today. So I'm very happy to announce on the topic of today 5 speakers, including myself, and we're going to start today with the introduction with Professor Joeri van Mierlo. I'm hoping that I can get him there. Welcome, Professor van Mierlo. The floor is yours.
Of the World Electric Vehicle Journal, and I'm also a professor at the Vrije Universiteit Brussels, where I'm leading the MOBI Research Center. MOBI is a multidisciplinary team of more than 130 people active in the field of electric vehicles, sustainable mobility, and logistics. And today we organize this seminar on e-mobility. Of course, it's organized jointly together with WEVJ, which is the World Electric Vehicle Association, that consists of AVERE, the European Association for E-Mobility, as well as EVAP, which is the Electric Vehicle Association of Asia Pacific, and also EDTA, which is the Electric Drive Transportation Association of the Americas. The World Electric Vehicle Journal is a journal which is managed by MDPA as professional publisher, and it closely works together with different symposia. One of them is the highly esteemed EVS, which is the International Electric Vehicle Symposium and Exhibition. Okay, we did some studies in the past to assess the market introduction of electric vehicles, and we noticed that many things have been changing very fast. In less than 10 years, the cost of the battery is reduced with more than 80%. And we also see that driving range of the electric vehicles has been increased from 150 kilometers to now more than 400 and more. Then we see also that there is a need for charging infrastructure, especially for people living in urban areas, living in an apartment, and if they have no access to private parking place for their car, they are depending on public charging infrastructure. And why this electric mobility is important? Well, if you look to the impact on climate change, then you can see that 25% of the CO2 emissions are related to the transportation sector. And also a quarter of the particle matter emissions, and more than 50% of the NOx emissions are coming from the transportation sector. So reducing climate change on one hand and improving the air quality, for that we need clean technology. And if you charge electric vehicles with renewable energy sources, they have been proven to be very environmental friendly. So this is a way to go. Of course, there are also other concerns. For instance, in Europe, we have to import crude oil, and that costs us €1 billion per day to import crude oil, which has a negative impact on our economy. And finally, as a short introduction for this seminar, I'd like to tell you that electric vehicles are very fun to drive. So let me ask you some questions. Are you developing yourself electric plug-in hybrid electric fuel cell vehicles? Are you an expert in these vehicles' propulsion systems or their components like their batteries and motors, power converters? Have you recent scientific results on charging infrastructure, wireless power transfers, vehicle to home, vehicle to grid application, or dedicated energy management strategies, or shared autonomous electric vehicles your cup of tea? Or have you new insight on the environmental performance of vehicles? Or maybe you have developed socioeconomic evaluation tools to assess the market introduction of electric vehicles and the related consumer behavior? Well, in that case, the World Electric Vehicle Journal is your place to publish your latest results and innovations. Enjoy this seminar and keep in touch. Thank you.
So thank you for Joeri. As you maybe noticed, Joeri had an obligation last minute and is not joining live this session. If there's any questions, I will address them to him later. So far, so good. I'm very pleased now to go to Professor C.C. Chan. He's, I think, our oldest member on board of WEVJ, and I'm very happy to introduce him to his presentation. Welcome, Professor C.C. Chan.
Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, friends and colleagues, I am pleased and honored today with you to share my vision on 3 revolutions and 4 integration by the innovation driven. The 3 revolutions are the energy revolutions, information revolutions, and mobility revolutions. That is our field on electric vehicles. And the 4 integrations are the integration of energy network, information network, transportation network, and humanity network. And also, not only network, but also in the network, we must have the flow. That is the integration of the energy flow, information flow, material flow, and value flow to create value. First is innovation driven. This slide shows the spirit of the freedom of inquiry. In the middle of the picture, we see the teachers at the time, Aristotle and Plato. They are coming in the hall and they are quarreling. And everybody in the hall is independent thinking. The spirit is, I love my teacher, but trust the truth more. Science is discovery. Science is seeking for the truth. Innovation, we should have multi-dimension thinking. That includes holistic thinking, mathematical model and big data, causal and related relationship, closed loop thinking, cycle thinking. I will emphasize in my speech on the importance of the cycle thinking and holistic thinking. Philosophy of engineering. What is engineering? Engineering is science plus technology plus management. And science is discovery. Science is answering why. Engineering is answering how. So in engineering, we must have objective. We must have objective. Science is no objective. Science is for curiosity, discovery. But engineering, we should have objective. and we should have thought, we should have methodology, and we be able to implement. Thus, we should have the system integration that includes 6 points. The first point, we must have the objective. After the objective, we must have the thought. That is 2, 3, 4. Holistic thinking, creative thinking. Sometimes it's divide and conquer. Sometimes it's combine and rule. And 4 and 5 and 6 is management, human factors, teamwork. So engineering is science plus technology plus management. And engineering, we need experience and we need practice. The mobility revolution is coming. The energy, the automobile revolutions, the core content is electrifications, intelligence, connected, and sharing. Okay. Mobility is freedom. Mobility is the most apt expression for our quest for happiness. This figure shows in 1988 in Toronto, when we signed a historical document of the formations of the World Electric Vehicle Associations. At that time, I still young. Although I'm not handsome, but I still young. I was elected as the chairman of the steering committee. Okay, I will share with you my short video on the automobile revolution.
Professor Chen pointed out, the discovery of automobiles had changed the world, leading to the freedom of mobility. But today, automobiles bring troubles to the world's cities: traffic congestion, car accidents and casualty, air pollution, non-sustainable energy, etc. Therefore, automobiles must be changed. The automobile revolution is coming. The core of this revolution is electrification, automatic driving, connected cars and sharing cars. This revolution is the integration of automobile industry and IT industry. Automobile industry has over 100 years history. Its body has become strong. However, its brain has deteriorated. IT industry has strong brain. They are now entering into automobile industry. However, their body is not yet strong enough. Therefore, these two industries should cross-integrate with each other to develop the next generation automobiles. Professor Chen emphasized the importance of integration. The integration of energy and information leads to the intelligent industry, intelligent transportation, and intelligent buildings. Professor Chen has made long-term contributions to electric vehicles and smart energy.
The key technology of the automobile revolution or electric vehicle is lightweight body, integrated powertrain, high performance safety battery pack, and intelligent charging. This is some of the example. This is the example of the lightweight body. This is the example of the integrations of the powertrains, that is to integrate motor, power electronic, controller. So to make, through the integration, to make higher performance, lightweight, and reliability. So the energy density increase, the power density increase, while the cost will reduce. Okay, this is another example of the integration of the power system, of the powertrain, and this shows the different requirement for the battery pack, include mild hybrids, plug-in hybrid, and battery electric vehicles. The power density requirement, energy density requirement is different. Okay, and this shows the worry-free charging solutions by the intelligent charging. So use the car like the phone. Now I will talk about the 3 revolutions and for integration. The 3 revolutions is the energy revolutions, information revolutions, and mobility revolution, or automobile revolutions. The 4 networks integration is energy network, information network, transportation network, and humanity network. And the four flows are energy flow, information flow, material flow, and value flow. Through the integration of four network, energy network, information network, transportation network, and humanity network, and through the integration of four flows, energy flow, material flow, information flow, value flow, we link the energy revolutions, information revolution, and mobility influence to gain the largest effect. And we have the philosophy, we have the science and engineering. Okay, so what is the philosophy and patterns of the energy integrations? The philosophy is holistic thinking. Whole is greater than the sum of each individual. And we integrate the economic foundation and the superstructure. The energy, information, and transportation is the three pillars of the economic foundation, while the humanity is the superstructure. This is the philosophy. And what is the science? The science theory is we explore the fundamental relationship among energy, information, and human behavior. We have the philosophy, we have the fundamental theory, and we can implement by engineering. It combines the energy technology and information technology through a smart energy operation system. Our team has developed the energy operation system by using the cloud technology, edge computations, artificial intelligence, using big data, and to achieve value-added result. Let us review on the industrial revolution. The first industrial revolution is the invention of engine. It's mechanical power. The second energy revolution is the invention of electricity that is moved from mechanical energy to electrical energy. And the third industrial revolution is information. It is digitalization, and now we are entering the fourth. The fourth is also information, but it is more advanced. It is artificial intelligence. It is not just data. It is not just a machine learning, but we have knowledge. We combine the knowledge and the data. We have the human intelligence. So today, what I propose, three revolutions and four integration is the core of the fourth industrial revolutions. Through the interaction, through to find the correlation nature between energy and informations, I discover the correlation between human behavior, information and energy. I wrote the paper in 2012 when I was a fellow, a senior fellow at the Potsdam, Germany, the Potsdam Institute for Advanced Sustainability Study. So by discover the correlation between energy, information, and human behavior, how do human behavior drive the correlation into intelligence? So we integrate the energy, transportation, information, and humanity. So through the integrations, through the evolution of integration, we not only integrate energy and information, but we also integrate transportation with energy and information, and also integrate the humanity with the energy, information, and transportation. So it will create value. It will create value. Okay, this is the pattern of integration. 30 years ago, we have the internet and we have the e-commerce. Okay, then 20 years ago, we have a mobile phone. We have the mobile internet and we have the sharing economy. Today, we have 5G. We have Internet of Things. We have the artificial intelligence. So we can have a energy as a service, information as a service, transportation as a service, personalized. So today, the IoT, in Internet of Things, this thing is not just machine learning, but also include the human intelligence, include the human intellect. So we can integrate the energy network, transportation network, information network with the humanity network to create more values. And what are for network and for flows? As I have said, the four network is energy network, information network, transportation network, and humanity network to make our life, work, travel, low carbon, environmentally friendly, comfortable, convenient, healthy, intelligent, and happy. And what are the integration of four flow? That is the integration of energy flow, information flow, material flow, and value flow. Here the key is through the integration of this, we can convert the energy to material. And through this, we can solve the four contradictions or four conflicts. This is the conflict between the new energy and fossil energy, the conflicts between primary energy and secondary energy, the conflicts between centralized energy and distributed energy, and the conflicts between electrical energy and chemical energy. How to solve this conflict? Is by coupling optimization for different energy source that will transfer the waste energy, become useful, at the same time achieve carbon balance. This is the example. Okay, through the integration of energy flow, information flow, material flow, and value flow, we solve the four conflicts. Conflicts between fossil and renewable, conflict between centralized and distributed, conflict between primary and secondary, conflict between power, electric, and chemical. For instance, by the coupling, of the power grid, gas grid, and coal grid. For instance, we have a wind and solar. We have the excess wind and solar that the power grid cannot accept. Then we can convert so energy and information. We convert to material. We electrolyze water. Then from energy become hydrogen. By electrolyze water become hydrogen. Hydrogen is material. From energy information to become a materials. And if we need it, then hydrogen and oxygen is fuel cell, then become electricity. So from energy information become materials, and then we can create value. If we needed, hydrogen and oxygen through fuel cell become energy and become energy. And at the same time become eco. Why? Because we can neutralize the CO2 during the generations and consumption of energy. Sometimes we produce CO2. Sometimes we produce hydrogen, and CO2 and hydrogen become, energy, methanol, ethanol. So we can have, eco energy, not only intelligence, high efficiency to convert the waste become useful. At the same time, neutralize the CO2. Through the energy internet, we couple the energy flow and material flow to become carbon neutral smart energy ecosystem. And the fundamental theory is to convert the waste become useful. And from the thermodynamic, it convert the entropy to exergy. And this shows the interaction features between four network and four flows. The center is the energy network, and this energy network will interact with the information network, transportation network, and humanity network through the interaction of four flows: energy flow, information flow, material flow, and value flow. And this interaction will promote cross-industry, digitalizations, and energy as a service, information as a service, and then create value through the humanity network and human behavior. Okay, and this is the 5 key elements among the 4 network and 4 flow. The 5 key elements are data, unstructured and structure, algorithm, physical model and data model, computing power, cloud and edge, platform, operating system and app market, openness, open ecosystem, and sharing under blockchains. And what is the features and benefit we get from the integration of 4 network and 4 flows? That is the integration of energy flow, material flow, and information flow that can create value. That is the science foundation and the principle. Then become engineering. You know, this is the original energy network. The energy internet only can connect the generation, transmission, distribution, and use of the electric. It only can connect. But today, not only can just connect, we become a circle, become a coupling, become a circle by the integration of energy, information, transport, become a circle. That means we can convert the waste to useful. That is in the thermodynamic, convert the entropy to exergy, and at the same time become eco, because we, during the process, we can neutralize the hydrogen. So the integration of 4 network, 4 flow brings out potential of the 4th industry revolutions. 4 flow integration is the principle of the 4 network, 4 flow across technology and economy. 4 network integration is the engineering implementation of 4 network and 4 flows, and 4 flows, 4 network with the global thinking so that it is better than the added function. This is show the benefit of the integration of 4 network and 4 flow. This figures is the conventional existing energy structure, input and output, and you have so many losses. And we want to convert, this is a serial structure. We will convert the serial thinking to cycle thinking. After the cycle thinking, we can convert the loss, we can convert the waste become useful. We can minimize the loss through the cycling. That is the interaction of energy, information, and mobility, transportation, and materials and value. So build the recycling economy. So entropy increase from energy loss can be stored for later use. This is the time domain. You have the time domain and space domain. Entropy increase from value loss can be redirected for added value. As time domain and location domain, both scenarios can be tokenized for trading under P2P. So can create value, and this value can be tokenized. Okay, and this is the evolution layer of the 4 network and 4 flows. The upper the layer is the information layer that include edge and cloud. And this is the energy network. It includes electricity, heat, and chemical. And this is the transportation network. Now we are towards low carbon and smart transportation. And this is the humanity network. It's a personal lifestyle. And that is the managing instruction. We have the operation operation system, and all will create value. So meet personalized need with service accuracy. Build data analytics from users' own experience. Promote culture of shared economy for customer. Study humanity pattern for better energy service. So the key driver is big data. Big data profile of participants created from personalized footprints. Okay, this is the example of the carrier and network of for network of flows. We have the residential, we have the commercial facilities, public lighting, electric vehicle charging system, hydrogen storage, storage of heating and cooling, wind power, distribute energy, and factory. And we have a big grid, and we have the substation, and we have the control center. So the blue network is the energy network, electric, cold, and heat. And the yellow network is show the micro network. And the red network show the information network. So we shows the integrations of energy network, transportation network, information network, and humanity network. And the key is how to make it echo, and to make it intelligent by controlling the entropy, minimizing the entropy, to convert the entropy become exergy, so become intelligent, become high efficiency, convert the waste to useful, and at the same time carbon neutralize, become eco and intelligence. So the vision of integration for network for flows. The integration of four flows and for network and four flows are hand in hand with the smart city. For the smart city, it's not just you have the technology, but also you must have the humanity, human behavior. So we have the low carbon policy, that is the superstructure, and we have the technology, that is the economic fundamental, okay, energy, information, and transportations, and we have the superstructure, human behavior, culture, and through the integration of four network and four flows, hand in hand with the promotion of smart city, that is the innovative merge infrastructure for low carbon community. So for network, four flows integration brings out potential for energy as a service, transportation as a service, information as a service for smart city. The technology side is energy as a service, mobility as a service. The culture side is the behavior as a service and sharing as a service. This is showing how the integration of four network, four flows also are promoting the digital economy. This is the level of the integrations from industrial network, smart energy, smart transportation, smart city, the level of integration. And this is create value, how it create value. So the core of digital economy, by using a digital as production force to make our economy more advanced, more prosperous, and more sustainability. So the integration of four network, four flow is driving the interaction between artificial enabled technology with human. The integration of the four network, four flows with the artificial information into human life. So for network, 4 flows integration enable culturalization of the AI-ready society toward digital economy. So finally, I would like to share with you about my motto of 6 eyes. We should have 6 eyes. I have 4 eyes. It's not enough. We should have 6 eyes. First, the eyes put here. You have 4 sides. Put the eyes in the front. The second, you put your eyes at the back to review the history, to learn from the history. The third, you put the eyes at the up. You have holistic thinking, overall thinking. Third, as fourth, you put your eyes at on the foot. You can implement. You can down to earth. And fifth, you put your eyes on the right-hand side. You can see US, Europe. And the sixth, you can put your eyes at the left. You can see China, Japan, Korea, India, etc. So you can see everything. The first eye, the most important for innovation, is inspiration. After the inspiration, then you can have the imagination. After the imagination, you can have the innovations. And after innovation, don't forget, the most important thing, what I emphasize today, is integration. After the integration, then you can implement it, but we need the finance support. We need the finance. We need the investment. Okay. And then finally, I would like to promote our WEVA and hopefully our WEVA journal will blooming. EVS is the longest and largest gathering of electric vehicle community in the world. This is the history of EVS. Then the next EVS, the EVS 34, will be held in China, Nanjing. The theme of the EVS 34 is towards intelligent e-mobility. It will be built in the new town of Nanjing City, that is the Air Hub exhibition town. This Nanjing is located near Shanghai at the southeast China. This is some pictures of the Air Hub exhibition town. And our topics will include electric vehicle and transportations, power battery and fuel cell, electric drive technology, charging and fuel infrastructure, connection of power grid, power supply and vehicles, market, policy, environment, energy and social, and most importantly also we look at the emerging technology. So this is some important date. The call for abstract will open on the August 27. The deadline for abstract is November 9th. The abstract acceptance notification is December 15. The abstract acceptance is March 15. And the deadline for full submission is April 10, 2021. And welcome to visit our website and see you in Nanjing, June next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And then I want to go to our next speaker. I would like to introduce you to Cristina Corchero. She is from Spain and will share her insights about the participation at EVS. Welcome, Cristina. Microphone is off. Yeah, here we go.
So thank you, Philip. Thank you. See here is evaluation of the end of life of electric vehicles according to the state of health. But you'll see that this is just the result of a path. So we were working on the Sabina project. Sabina is a project that what we want to analyze is, as you see, buildings. So it's buildings flexibility. So you probably are thinking what this has to do with electric vehicles. And our main objective in this project is to see how to reduce building CO2 emissions. And we do this through different flexibility sources. For instance, photovoltaics, heating system, batteries, and I have enjoyed part of the previous talk that emphasizes on this interaction between all these systems and networks. And then the electric vehicle arises, and we were thinking how to also exploit the flexibility of the electric vehicle through smart charge, and how we can improve the building operation by means of the electric vehicle. So this is the starting point. And what we did was to try to foresee or forecast what would be the flexibility from these electric vehicles. We need to know the arrival and departure time for sure, and the time that the vehicle would be plugged in. But also we need the amount of energy that would be required from the vehicle, so that we can somehow see which was the smart charge policy we can apply, and the energy that we will have to somehow play as flexibility. And then we have a, let's say, great amount of data from thousands of trips of electric vehicles around Europe from different projects. And we analyze several approaches. I won't come into the detail. This should be a brief talk. So you can check all details in the paper, and also you can contact me if you're interested. But I mean, we analyze charge duration, state of charge, charge ratio, and then we focus on the energy of the charge. And when we were there, we were like, okay, we know which is the energy that these charge events have requested to us. And we know these kilowatt hours, and we analyze so different hours, days, and behaviors. And we try to build up distribution for the amount of energy per charge. So you see here that there are 6 groups. You can find them in the paper defined, but we build up 6 groups of charging types, and then we build this distribution. So which is the probability for each of these groups that a determinate amount of energy was requested. And then we realize that the distribution showed that nearly all EV charges were below 10 kilowatts hour. Then we keep going, and we try to separate by different battery capacities. This data is not that new, so that we have several EVs with lower, let's say, battery capacity, and few from greater ones, but we have a great amount of data. So, and then what we see is that only 2.5 of the total amount of charge were requesting us greater amount of data, of energy, sorry. So at the end, we start to think, because we also work on second life batteries and on other uses for the EV batteries when they are like at their end of life. And then looking at this data for another purpose, we realize that probably we have to reanalyze this end of life of the electric vehicle batteries. And we have to redo or rethink on our analysis on LCA and on second life batteries. So the results from one thing that was analyzing energy for the flexibility of buildings result in the conclusions about a state of health and end of life. So we conclude that according to the results we obtained, and given that the new electric vehicles have higher capacity on their batteries, the state of health at the end of the life can be clearly lower than the 80% for most of these electric vehicles, and this can be acceptable. And because future EV batteries for sure have more than this 30 kilowatt hour that was the ones we have on our data. So that second life of batteries for states of health at level that's 70%, probably we have to question this, and we have to analyze if we can consider lower states of health, because this will be acceptable for the drivers, because they will somehow commit with their needs. And also, as I said, that we have to redo or rethink or LCA analysis and the hypotheses we are introducing on them on this EV usage and on the first and second life of our batteries. So as I said, this starts on one question and ends answering or opening new ones, which is what typically causes in the research field. And then when the EBS ends and we have presented it, we were invited to publish our results as the World Electric Vehicle Journal. So we did it because it's also important for us to share all the details and all the work we have done to obtain these results. So it was a pleasure to build up the paper. I have just written down some of the good points from the researcher point of view, which is a quick process to publish it, and open access, which is now requested by H2020 projects. So we finalized with this paper published. You can find it online and it's open access, so all of you can check it and just question us anything you want to know more. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cristina. Thank you for your contribution here. Don't have any questions for the moment, so we have a very quiet audience today. So this brought you last year to EVS 32 in France. This automatically brings us to, in theory, to EVS 33. And there, unfortunately, we got confronted by the pandemic COVID-19, as we're all aware of this. So this brings us also with the next speaker, and I'm very pleased to welcome Genevieve Cullen from EDTA. Welcome, Genevieve.
Thank you, Philippe. I'm happy to be here.
I will start the presentation.
Great, thank you.
Please.
Okay, thanks everyone for joining us today, and I'm really happy to be here in my capacity as president of EDTA and at the moment president of the World Electric Vehicle Association, which as you might have figured out by now is the home of the WEVJ journal, and it is also home to the World Electric Vehicle Symposium series. Which is a great source of community as well as academic and market intelligence sharing. As our next slide would show, the EVS series includes a rigorous juried paper system, and as our Cristina, the last speaker, demonstrates, it results in a gathering of great scholarship and a great opportunity for sharing this high value work, not only at EVS, the event, but through the WEVJ journal. If you would show the next slide, Philippe. I just wanted to give you a snapshot. As Philippe noted, the world intervened and we were unable to host EVS 33, but nevertheless, all of that scholarship is not lost. We, through the EVS 33 process, we received over 400 submissions, which were rigorously reviewed by 90 experts, and we had accepted more than 370 papers to be presented. And while we were unable to come together to present those papers, we have created pathways for all of those authors' important work to be made available. They will be published they'll be posted on the EVS 33 site this year. Some of our authors will be transferring their accepted papers to EVS 34 that Professor Chan discussed. And some of those authors will be seeking other avenues in which to publish their papers. So what's important for this audience is You can find the EVS 33 conference papers. They will be curated within a Zenodo community created for EVS 33. You'll be receiving updates through the WEVA community about how to do that. The collection will also be made public on the EVS 33 website by October 1st. And as noted by previous speakers, select papers from EVS 33 will be published in the World Electric Vehicle Journal. Philippe, if you would. Thank you. And just a breakdown, as CC noted in his excellent presentation, EVS papers come from a wide variety of authors, have great geographical diversity, and they also cover the entire value chain of electric drive, transportation, and systems. So our authors and scholarship covers both technology, markets, policy, and environmental impacts. And I think this will be a valuable set of papers, as are all of the EVS documents, and we look forward to sharing them with you. And that being said, I think I have one last order of business, and Philippe, if you would. It is our tradition at WEVA to rotate the presidency of the organization along with the hosting of the EVS event. So it is my great pleasure to hand the baton, as just metaphorically right now, literally at some later date, of presidency of WEVA into the able hands of Professor C.C. Chan, who's the president of EVAP. C.C., did you want to say a couple of words?
Thank you, Geneva. First of all, I would like to express our sincere thanks to Geneva and her team for your wise leadership during the last session of WEVA. I'm very honored to take over the baton and the office of the president of the WEVA, and I will uphold the torch of WEVA to make WEVA and EVS from strength to strength. We will work very hard to make the EVS 34 reach a new height. And I will certainly count on your continuous support. This is the WEVA tradition. We three members mutually support each other. We are the longest and the largest of the worldwide gathering of EV community. So I hope that the WEVA and EVS will have big impact to our society. And we are very proud for our future generations that we are working together for the benefit of our future generation. So welcome you to Nanjing and see you all on June 25 to 28 in Nanjing, China. Thank you.
Genevieve, do you want to add some words on this, or do you want to conclude from here?
Well, I think Evie, I think CC pretty much said it all. But thank you, CC. We are we know that you will do a great job with the next iteration of EVS. And thanks, Philippe, for hosting.
Thank you for both for your contributions so far. Thank you very much, everyone. Certainly on the handover also of the presidency. I have one Q&A question popping up, and I think it's more addressed to Cristina, our previous speaker, because it's quite technical and related to the topic that you have discussed. Cristina, are you still able to answer on this?
Yeah, sure.
So I see the question here, according to your experience, is it worth to replace an end-of-life battery in an electric vehicle with a brand new one, or just scrap sell the vehicle?
So unfortunately, I'm not expert on the vehicle side. I'm expert on the application of the battery on stationary use, or on the battery inside the vehicle, but not on replacing the batteries. So I'm not able to answer.
No problem. I thought maybe you had some insights on this part. I know from our insights on the side from AVERE that related to this question, that actually the batteries are performing much better. So these cases are hardly happening for the moment. So this is actually the good news on the side of battery electric vehicles for the moment. I think we can conclude from here. It's now July. Most of us will look forward to their holidays. I want to conclude also from AVERE's side that we also are ready to announce already EVS 35 as well. This will go to Oslo in Norway, dated 11th to 15th of June in 2022. So first China and then Norway. Thank you very much for attending. Keep in touch and look forward to our next webinars. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Genevieve. Thank you, C.C.